Hi, I'm Rachelle Mee-Chapman, and this is Relig-ish, your place for right fit spirituality. Now, last episode on Relig-ish, we talked about the discontentment and the frustration you feel when your spiritual practices aren't in alignment with your core values. So you might have over the years established habits, disciplines, traditions, rites and rituals that were part of your religious heritage, but aren't helping you in your present everyday life live out the things that matter most to you. So this week in Relig-ish, what I want to talk to you about is what is a core value. In life coaching, we work with a long set of core values and we help people identify a few of them. I like to say 8. Let me like to identify 8 core values, which we really focus then on helping you live out in practical everyday ways. And this list is the list that we have people go through in a typical coaching session to identify their core values. Yeah, it's a long one. We're just going to let it run. And a core value is just the value that forms the foundation of your way of being in the world. You can't attend to a list this long. It's too many. You might attend to different ones at different points in your life, but you need to have a few core values to really focus on. Now, if you've grown up in the religious tradition of Christianity, you might recognize these core values: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Ain't no law against those, right? But what in your practice of your faith helped you to actually really live those out? Because your spiritual practices were probably mostly happening in church, within the 4 walls of the church, and the rest of your life was mostly happening outside of the 4 walls of the church. One of the pitfalls that we have with organized religion is that it is structured around a set of beliefs, not around a set of core values. So what's one of the things that you do as a spiritual practice within institutionalized religion? You say the creed. If you don't actually say the creed, I believe in God the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, if you're not in the kind of liturgical church that actually says the creed, you still recite the creed. You just do it in a contemporary song with a nice bass line. But still, a big part of the religious institutionalized practice is embedding the set of beliefs deep into the congregant's mind. And embedding beliefs in your mindset is what we call orthodoxy, right? Orthodoxy, when translated literally, is right thinking. You want to get people to believe in the right things. And the question of what do you believe becomes the pivotal question. The challenge is, after you're done reciting your beliefs and getting your thinking, your right thinking all in your brain, you leave church and you drive to Trader Joe's to get stuff for lunch. And the guy in line in front of you is like taking forever. And you know when you go outside, you're going to get hit up for spare change and you don't know what you want to do about that. And your kid is hanging on your leg of your pants, crying, and you're just driving you mad. And then, I believe in God the Father, maker of heaven and earth, isn't really helping you. It's not helping you make a decision about how to act. It's not helping you practice love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. It's just a thought in your head. It's not a practice in your body. You can't practice, I believe Jesus is the Son of God. It's a statement of belief, but it's not an actionable statement. But you can practice compassion. You can practice equity. You can practice inclusion. You can speak out against the places in power that are corrupt. These are all the things that, for instance, Jesus did in his lifetime. And if we are wanting to mimic his behavior, we can practice those things. But we can't practice a creed. The creed, the underlying part of the creed is the values, and the values is what we want to get at. And the first step is to identify your core values. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways you can do that. The first one is to look at your current spiritual practices, the ones that you still like, the ones that you are serving you well, and ask yourself, what value or values is this spiritual practice helping me live out? So kind of look at the practices that are working and identify the values that they're helping you live. Okay, that's the first way. The second way is just to start brainstorming a list of values and writing down, in my life, I value, and just start writing things that you value. And then walk through those a couple times and rapidly, without too much thinking, narrow them down to 8 core values. If you move quickly, it'll help you listen to your own intuitive core and not let other outside voices make the decision for you. Now, if you need some help doing this and it's feeling kind of too big of a project, too vast and overwhelming to look at, I do in my coaching practice offer an inexpensive values assessment bundle where I will walk through this with you and help you identify your core values if you're interested in that. If not, then you have these other 2 methods. The first one of looking at your practices that are working for you and identifying the core values underneath, and the second of just brainstorming a list of core values. But that's what your homework is for this week, is to start identifying your core values. And if you're willing to, I would love it if you would share your list of 8 things in the comments so we can start noticing the places where our Relig-ish lives overlap. And so that I know a little bit more about you and can direct these future episodes to be right fit for you. You know, I've spent a lot of time the past 10 years deconstructing my beliefs and looking for the values that are the DNA of those beliefs, the values that are the bedrock underneath the beliefs. And then I've reconstructed my living around not the beliefs, but the values. Connection, compassion, hospitality, authenticity, beauty, creativity, and self-authority. That's my list. That's the place where the roots of my heritage and the authenticity of my today overlap. And all of my habits and traditions and rituals, all of my spiritual practices, my entire Relig-ish life is designed to help me live out those values. What about you? Are you ready to start organizing your life around your core values? Can you identify them there under the bedrock of your belief? Can you pull them out and make them the most prominent part of your decision-making process? I think you are. I know you can. I hope you will. I'll see you next week here at Relig-ish. And until we meet again, be curious, trust your gut, and live out of a place of love. Amen? Amen.